Hello, guys. Good morning. Another beautiful morning. Thank God for life. Okay, you're gonna be cooking with me today. Daddy doing some chores. Enjoy yourself. Welcome to my life. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification in case I'm live. You see my notification. All right, let's get to it. All right. So basically, today we're going to be starting with the selection of beans. So I'm doing all of this morning. Don't cry for me. I got what it takes. I have to do this before the children wake up. A lot of beans. Alright, so basically while I do this, I can't just be all quiet. I cannot all just be quiet. So there is certainly something I would like us to talk about. And of course, like every other human being, every day there's always a thought that comes out and is in this tray. So it's going to be very, very fast. I have a class by 9:30. Of course, Mr. Roy is a teacher, and I have to quickly do this so that I can get to my class. I'm not sure my audio is good enough. I want it to be closer to me. Yeah, I can do this. Use some physics to get this done. Great, great. I think I'm clearer right now. All right, so basically, you're going to see how daddy is also helping mommies out in the house so mommies don't collapse, right? So I've always been an advocate of um, parents playing more role in the phone. Okay? Because the truth is, our children will do what they see us do. So if you want children that will participate in the home, you would have to do what you want them to do. They say that what you do is too loud, that I cannot hear what you say. So if you want children that will be involved in the kitchen, I mean, somebody was just telling me that in Africa we tend to pamper the male child. You know, the male child we tend to pamper them, but eventually they're going to get married and become the head of homes and determines what homes will become. And so we need to be able to let them also get involved in the so-called things that girls should be doing. And the best way to do that is to select beans. Is to do this. So it's just about telling them, do it so that they can see. Because what you do is too loud and I can hardly hear what you say. I need a bowl so I can put the beans I've selected. I have a lot of work to do this morning, but I have what it takes and I'm going to do it. Be right back. All right, I couldn't find a bowl, but I found this. Uh, my wife is busy with laundry, some okay. Well, the good thing is that I also grew up in a home where I actually grew up a very large family, very organized, and credit to my father for that. You understand? Polygamous home, but very organized. So you wake up every morning, you already know the chores to do. And then will help you if you don't do the chores. So that is one of the strengths of the home I grew up in. And that is why I'm not going to give my children anything less. Alright? They are still growing, they are still very young. And this is the best time to show them, not to just tell them. As you're telling them, giving them instructions, as parents, you have to be doing it. If you want your children to study, you, the parents, have to be studying. It's amazing how today we give engineers homes to design for us. Things, you see the balconies, you see the bedrooms, and you ask them where is the library. You know, you cannot be a parent that never reads and expect the children to be reading. You know, Nigerian parents, African parents, you say, when I was your age, I was winning all the awards. So if all the parents in Nigeria are winning awards, who exactly did not win awards? You know, but the truth is that we need to show them, not just say it. Okay. Well, what I really want us to talk about this morning is, my personal experience this week, mental experience. But I can see three people watching me. Please do well to subscribe to my channel. This is Mama Kids. We talk life, we talk politics, we talk leadership. But today we are experiencing what it means for daddies to also do things. So currently, I am selecting my beans. If you're not in Africa, I believe you also eat beans. So raw beans straight from the farm, and I have to remove the shaft so that I can make akara or moi moi with the beans. You're going to have fun because today I'll let you know that men can also do chores. Anyways, so I had a mental experience this week. There was a new thought that dropped into my head, and it was the yardstick for me to begin to choose my friends and people I should roll with. I'm currently in a place where I'm seeing a lot of crude thinking. You understand? I don't want to say people around me, but I see a lot of people with crude thinking, and it's an opportunity to encourage young people, Nigeria, America. Three people are watching me now. Do well to comment. I want to meet you. This is Mr. Roy. I'm from Nigeria in Africa, and I'm currently doing my morning chores. Yes, you heard me right. My morning chores. I don't want my to collapse one day. So sometimes I am. And today is one of such lucky days for her where I'm helping her to select beans. Alright. Once I select beans, a lot of beans. Once I'm done selecting this, I grind it, put in the freezer, and it will be ready for akara or moi moi. Okay. So subscribe to my channel. Do well to turn on the notification. Where we talk about raising children, politics, and life in general. So during the week, like I was saying, I've noticed that I'm more around people with a mentality that is not very, very, and I'm like, I can do better, I can choose better, I can choose my friends better. During the week, I got an inspiration to have a very clear yardstick of who my friends should be and who my friends shouldn't be. And again, I was saying that this is an opportunity to tell African youth, Nigerian youth, and the youth of the world that education is not a scam. When you talk about people from Western world like the United States of America, today China, Europe, developed world, I should say, um, the educational system is is well structured, is geared towards a purpose. But when you come down to Africa and in Nigeria, where I am, I hate to say this, but we are currently in a place where say the truth and you'll be set free. So I am not demarketing my nation in any way. I love my country, and that's the only reason we are saying it so it can get better. So, in the educational system in countries like ours, Nigeria, and many African countries, is not well structured, it is not goal oriented, the curriculums are not being followed, the curriculums are not being revised, the curriculum are not being modernized so that it is in tune with modern times. It's just very, very static. Um, so people tend to believe that education is a scam. Education is a scam. They say it's a scam. They are now beginning to think that it's not worth it. They go to school. I mean, I was speaking to one of my students, I thought like 15 years ago. Yeah, one of the brightest students I've ever thought. And one would think that with her capacity as a student, knowledge of mathematics, knowledge of physics, you would think that she would be so successful. If Halima is her name, if Halima was in the United States of America, Canada, developed countries, Halima would probably be a medical doctor today, doing very well for herself and her family. But because she is an African, because she is a Nigerian, that's not the case. She's still struggling and struggling to feed her family. She's just barely living from hand to mouth. And we spoke. I just called her because I'm always in touch with my students as much as I could. So I called her and we spoke. And I could sense in her voice that she was so all those work you made us do, all those burning of midnight oil, is this where it's going to end? And I told her that things will get better. And she said something. She's beginning to think that education is a scam. And when students say that, there are some students that are not very serious, but when you know students that are so gifted, way gifted than you were when you were their age, do you understand? And you find out that they are finding themselves in a situation where they have to question whether the effort they put into the work, into the academics was worth it. It hurts differently, right? It hurts differently. So, education is not scam. The truth is that I always say it, that mathematics, right? What mathematics is supposed to leave you with is 1 equals to 2. Like that's the least, the smallest value you get from school is knowledge. You understand? So you go to school, they teach you 1 plus 1. Knowing 1 plus 1 is equals to 2 is the least school will give you. That's not the cream de la cream. That's not the peak of what you get from school. What you get from school, the peak of what you get from school are the values, are the experiential values. There are some values where you are told, you say, don't lie. And there are people that will always be in front of you. I'm going somewhere. I'm talking about the mental, what do I call it? The mental, um, I can't call it called, but the mental opening that I had during the week. So I'm just trying to build towards the point. So the least mathematics is meant to give you, the least mathematics is meant to give you. Please let's subscribe to this channel. I can see like 10 people watching me right now. And let's comment. Say something, all right? Say something. This is Mr. Roy. I'm from Nigeria, and this is Mama Kids channel where we talk about raising children, politics, and life in general. I'm currently in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian in Nigeria, and I'm currently doing chores to assist my wife in the house. Okay, So, continuing what I was saying, welcome to my live. I can see somebody watching me. Please join, say something on the live, introduce yourself. My name is Mr. Roy. I am from Nigeria in Africa. This is Mama Kids channel where we talk about raising children, where we talk about politics, and where we talk about life. So, you're welcome. If you have anything to say, please leave some comments so that we can interact. So the least school will give you. Let's narrow it down to mathematics. Mathematics is not meant to tell you that 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, even though you will learn that, but that's like the list of what it's supposed to give you. It is supposed to leave you with values. It is supposed to leave you with a value of sometimes, every time, as a matter of fact, some people will be ahead of you. When you were being taught that 1 plus 1, some people caught it before you. Some people did not catch it when you caught it. So that is value of whatever you do. It is okay for people to be better than you and for people to be not as good as you are. That's values like that. Yeah, they gave you 1 plus 1, they taught you 1 plus 1. You tried to do the 1 plus 1, you did not get it. You went back to it. Another value, tenacity. When you do something at first, you do not get it, you can go back to it. So mathematics, the least mathematics will give you is the knowledge of 1 plus 1. But the cream de la cream, the main thing, the most important thing you're going to get from are the values. So even when African schools or schools in developing countries do not give you the knowledge that you will get from developed countries, it still leaves you with values. And that is actually the main thing it's supposed to give you. So my conclusion there is that education can never and should never be regarded as a scam. It should not be regarded as not worth it. Education is worth it yesterday, today, and forever. And education is not supposed to give you knowledge alone. Knowledge is like the least is going to give you. The most important part of education is the value it leaves you with. I've mentioned on this one thing an educated person, even in Nigeria and in Africa, would be used to is the fact that there are some people that must be better than you, and there are some people you must be better than. Now, you may think that that's small. It is not small, and you are comfortable with it. You are comfortable with it. Oh, you got into a school and you came first. You were tops in class for the first term. The next term you were fifth in class. Initially it will rattle you, but after like few years you get used to it, and you see it will affect the way you live your life. So education is not a scam, and so this is me trying to tell myself what are the things I must see before I can call you my friend. What are the qualities I must see in a person before I can say, yeah, before I can choose you as a friend? And I told myself, because I've been getting this weird energy around, I say a lot of energy that I feel like, oh, no, my environment can be better. So finally, during the week, I was able to narrow it down to one thing. Now, before you can be my friend, you must be somebody who is comfortable in not featuring in the truth. I'll say that again. You must be somebody who is comfortable enough in not featuring in the truth. I see a lot of people, they the truth that they are not a participant in cannot be the truth. In other words, they must be right. Do you understand? And as basic as that may sound, Mr. Ray, there are a lot of people who have not built themselves to a point where it is okay to do what is wrong. Do you understand? And I discovered that the best of us, the best of human beings, the best of us are the people who have built themselves to a point where it is okay for the truth to be different from me. I mustn't be a subset of the truth. If the truth was a circle, I must not be inside of it. In Nigeria, for instance, I can tell you that less than 5% have built themselves to that point. Do you understand? Less than 5%. You see people struggle to be correct, even if being correct will be detrimental to their life. They've not been able to separate themselves from the truth. And you know what? It is very important that we see the truth as sacrosanct. We see the truth as independent of us. It is important that we see that it is okay to do what it's not like I'm encouraging you to do what is wrong. But when it is time to analyze action, it is okay to have been wrong. I see somebody like that, that person is qualified to be my friend. Because that is someone who can have a goal that is selfless. A person who always seeks the future in the truth will be selfish, will be a selfish person because it is about self. But the truth is not about you. The truth has always been there even before your ancestor was. And the truth will always be there even when you leave. So you mustn't be in the truth. And you must be comfortable with that. You know? And I was stretching the thought further and I told myself that even as bad as the Nigerian school is, or even as bad as any educational system is, you're going to learn that there are people that will always be better than you, richer than you, healthier than you, smarter than you. And there are people you will always be better than, richer than, smarter than. And you will have to be comfortable in that position, you know. And so that alone tells me that it is not right to say that education is a scam. So that was my mental lightning that I experienced this week. Again, I can see somebody watching my live. Please do well to leave a comment. This is Mama Kids channel where we discuss raising children, politics, and life in general. So if you are a parent, if you are a teenager, if you are a son, if you are a daughter, if you are interested in politics, and if you are alive, this is the place for you. My name is Mr. Roy, and I am a teacher, I am a father, I am a husband, and I'm here to share with you my experiences to make your life better. I'm currently doing my chores to assist my wife, trying to select beans for akara and moi moi. So if you are not from Nigeria, you may not know what akara is. Akara is like a beans cake, all right? Beans cake and moi moi too. I don't know what they call it, but in Nigeria we call it moi moi. I'm sure the African countries will be eating it as well. All right. So do well to leave a comment. If you want to know, if you have any question, you can ask. I would also like to meet you. I can see that someone is watching. Please do well to leave a comment. Okay. Yes. Again, I will emphasize it. It is not okay to just be giving instruction to your children. It's very important you leave out what you expected to do. If you want children that should be homely, like every child should be, if you ask me, if you want to raise children that you do all the work to raise them. And when they are grown, there is no value they are adding to the house, to the home. I do not subscribe to that. So if you want your children to be homely, I can see that once one person is watching me, do well to click on the like button and leave a comment. This is Mr. Roy. I am a teacher. This channel is Mama Kids, and we talk about raising children, politics, and life in general. So if you are alive, this is where you should be. If you are a child, if you are a son, if you are a daughter, this is where you should be. So I'm currently doing my chores. Like I always say, that your action is too loud, that I cannot hear what you say. So as parents, we should do what we expect our children to do. We want them to study hard, time to study, and you have to make sure they see you doing it. Right? If you want them to be homely, you have to do homely things, and they have to see you doing it. Right? Well, I'm 30% done. 30% done. So once I'm done with this, I'm quite good with this actually. I'm quite good with this. And this is also a very good place to say that, you see, um, sometimes we assume that people know what we know, or we know what people know. You understand? We judge people based on, of course, we don't even have a choice. You can only judge people based on what you know or what you think they know. You know, But sometimes what you know is not what they know. What you know is not what they know, because I had an experience some time ago where something happened. Something happened, and I was telling, I wasn't very happy. Okay, let's say I was in a class and a child was doing something in the class, and I wasn't happy with it. And I said, "This thing you're doing is not right." I can see somebody watching me. This is Mr. Roy Mama Kids channel. This is where we talk raising children, politics, and life in general. All right. So do well to leave a comment and let's talk. Let's interact. I'm currently doing my chores for the morning as a father, so that my children can learn from their father as well. All right. So the child was doing something for like 5 minutes, and I said, "That thing you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it. You've been doing this for 5 minutes. You focus on your studies." And the child said, "No, I wasn't doing it for 5 minutes." Mm. Guess what? Guess what? The child was doing that thing for 7 minutes. Not like a child, a teenager. And while I was like, "But I've been timing it. You've been doing it for 7 minutes." I realized that it's not everyone who has the capacity to be able to imagine what 7 minutes is without looking at the time. So sometimes we judge children based on what we know, but we must realize that they don't know what we know. And sometimes what they do is because they do not know. And because we are humans as well as parents, because parents are not robots. That's one thing we need to understand. It's okay for parents to make mistakes, but when they do, they should know that they have made a mistake. So I realized that the child does not even know what 5 minutes is. Do you understand? She doesn't know what 5 minutes is. So while he was there arguing, I just realized that, do you even know what 5 minutes is without? Do you know how long 5 minutes is? You know. So sometimes we really need to cut these children some slack, you know, while not neglecting them. But we need some slack as well. All right, you're welcome to my consider somebody is watching me. This is Mr. Roy. I am from Nigeria, Africa. Please leave a comment and click the like button and let's converse. I am currently doing my chores, selecting beans that we're going to use to make more money than an hour. All right. Now, another thing I would like to also say is that I see a lot of parents, right? By virtue of my work, I go into homes and I teach, and I see the clear connection between the structure of the home and and how the child is behaving in school and performing in school. The structure of the home does a lot to a child, and I've seen that firsthand. Very, very firsthand. Somebody is watching me. Please try and leave a like, click a comment, click on the like button, all right, so that we can converse. I am Mr. Roy from Nigeria. This is Mama Kids, where we talk about raising children, politics, and life in general. So if you are a child, if you are a daughter, if you are a son, this is where you should be. All right. So, so I was talking about structure of the home, and the performance of the child in school. There is nothing more connecting, there is nothing more relating than that. You know, the way a child performs in school is directly proportional to the structure of his or her home. And so you see, the home that you build is very, very important to the way your child will see things. Do you understand? You know, the school is very important, but the home is more important. All right. So don't be somebody who is comfortable when the home is not okay, as far as you can go to KFC or tasty fried chicken. You know, the home, true happiness happens in the home. True happiness happens in the home. And so bring the tasty fried chicken home. You know, make sure the home is well structured to produce the goal you want in a child. If you want a religious child, make the because the truth is there's a lot we can do. The child didn't come from heaven with choices. You as the home and as the environment we even create the choice for the child. If you tell a child that there are only two professions in the world, it is being a doctor or a lawyer, then the child will have to choose between the two. You know, I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm just saying that we have a lot to do when it comes to even the choices that our children will make. Well, it's important to build their ability to make choices. It is important to prepare them for that ability to make choices because life is essentially, making choices. Now, so I was just trying to say that the structure of your home as a parent is very important to how your child behaves in school, performs in school, and how he or she will behave when they leave your house. So the things you hang on your wall is very, very important. The kind of vocabulary, the kind of words, the kind of slang you use, it is very, very important. It is as germane as whether the child will become a prostitute tomorrow or a medical doctor. You know, the school is important, but it's not as important as the home. Whether the child will abuse his wife or his husband is dependent on the quality of the home you build. So you must understand that generations yet unborn are dependent on the structure of that home that you're building. It's not about the size and the pillars and the walls, but it's about the love, the values within the four walls of the home. So as parents, it's very, very important. I can see two people watching me. Please click the like button. This is Mr. Roy. I'm from Nigeria. This is Mama Kids channel where we talk about raising children, life, and politics. So if you are a son, if you are a daughter, if you are a mother, if you are a father, if you are an uncle, if you are a cousin, if you like politics, if you are alive, this is where you should. All right. I'm currently doing my chores because fathers should also be doing chores so that children can see and not just hear instructions. Okay, so I'm currently selecting beans, and when I'm done, I'm going to make a very delicious akara and moi moi. I'm sure you're salivating already, but if you're not from Nigeria, you may not even understand what that means. But just know that it's a very delicious African Nigerian delicacy. So you're welcome to my life. You're welcome to my life, Mama Kids, where we discuss raising children, where we discuss life and politics. So if you're a child, if you're a teenager, if you're a father, if you're a mother, if you are alive, if you like politics, this is where you should be. The structure of the home affects the child a lot. In fact, the generation, three generations in front of you, ahead of you, are dependent on the things you hang on your wall. You see, children learn in different ways. Mm. They learn collectively from different ways. All right, the things they hear, the things they see you do, the things they do, They create muscle memories from even the things they do. And so you must be conscious. For me in Nigeria today, I mean, there's no way my child should be watching somebody that is always smoking. As I'm doing life now, they are doing their life. There must be something that they are smoking. A child should not be watching that. A child should not be watching that. And if you turn on the Nigerian television now, you see, there is no regulation. Children are just watching whatever. Do you understand? And we as parents must do the work, especially when they are young. When they are 18, 19, you can't push. It becomes counterproductive for you to push. So the work of raising children it does not have to be intentional alone. It has to be timely. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the time you should put in the work. All right. And I say a lot of parents, when they are raising, people are very intellectual. I've met a lot of intellectual people, and I really don't know, because I think the peak of intellectualism is understanding that there is a higher being. You know, as a science teacher, as a medical physiologist, understanding enzymes, understanding the complexity that sustain life, understanding muscles and nerves, I can only tell myself that there must be an artist who drew this. There must be a physicist who put in the electricity. There must be a chemist somewhere who is a god who designed enzymes and pH and the chemicals of the human body. Do you understand? There must be a chemist who put potassium and sodium in our body, and calcium in our hearts. Do you understand? So I think that a truly intelligent person will acknowledge that there is a supreme being. A truly intelligent person will acknowledge that there is a supreme being. You can't see the butterflies and see the complexity on their wings, and you will not say that no, this couldn't have happened by chance. The point is, what I'm trying to say is that there is God. And I see a lot of parents, and I don't even consider it intellectualism, because the peak of knowledge is knowing that you cannot know everything. The peak of knowledge is knowing that there is a supreme being. The deeper you go into understanding is knowing that we are all foolish. That is the peak of knowledge. So I would not even consider it intellectualism for someone to deny God. I would consider it, at best, average, average intellect. To consider or to say that there is no God. I will consider that average. Okay, so I see parents that are too intellectual. In their own reckoning, they are too intellectual to acknowledge God. And so those kind of parents struggle a lot to raise kids. I can tell you that for free. Parents who don't work with God to raise their children, they struggle a lot. If you're a Muslim, please let that be part of raising your children. You see, if you're a Christian, do the same. Because you see, the faith, the Christian faith, the Muslim faith becomes an extra hand, that helps you raise them. You have more things to say. A child who is going wayward, you have verses in the Quran, verses in the Bible to be able to back and buttress your point. But if you say you want to be an intellectual in quotes, because like I said, I do not consider people who do not acknowledge the existence of God as intellectual. Because if you're truly an intellectual, you would understand that there has to be God. There has to be God. The percentage of oxygen in the air is 21%. If it was 50%, everywhere will explode. If it was less, people will suffer from brain damage. That's exactly what we're talking about. So there is an intentionality in nature. There is an intentionality in nature. Look at nitrogen cycle. Look at carbon cycle. There is an intentionality. So the deeper you go into knowledge, the clearer that there is a supreme being. You understand? So my point is parents should involve God in raising their kids. Let God be involved. It's easier like that. It's easier like that. I can tell you for a fact, parents that are godly, that are religious, find it easier to raise kids than parents that claim that they are too intellectual to acknowledge the presence of God. All right? That's another point I want to share with you. All right, once again, this is Mr. Roy. I am a Nigerian from Nigeria, and this is Mama Kids channel where we discuss raising children, politics, and life in general. So, if you are a son, wow, no, this is not what's left. See how all of this to select, and I just have 30 minutes to do that. I have a class by 9 o'clock, and I have to get to my class. Would you like to be part of my class? I'm not sure I have the. It's so much. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens. I'm not sure I have the permission from the parents to join you to my class. But one of these days, I'm going to do a class on the life. Wow, this is intimidating. I can do it. I can do it. I have a mountain of beans in front of me. Let me show you. Mountain of beans in front of me. All right, I've done this already. I have this to go. All right, but it's better I do this once so that I will be free. It's better I do this once so that I'll be free when I am done. Okay. All right, welcome to my life. This is Mama Kids, Mr. Roy speaking, where we talk about raising children, politics, and life in general. So if you are a daughter, if you are a son, if you are a cousin, if you are a teenager, if you are an adult, this is where you should be. This is where you should be. All right, let's do a bit of politics. Let's do a bit of politics. All right, let's do a bit of politics. Now, I know a lot is happening in Africa, but like I will always say, even in the world, not just in Africa, I've been following what is happening between the United States and Iran currently, and unfortunately, we are not experiencing the escalation. What we are seeing is the escalation of the whole thing. And honestly, the world really needs a break. The world really needs a break. The world really needs a break. The world really needs a break, if not a resetting. As a matter of fact, the world needs a break. All right. So, so a lot is happening in the world, but particularly for me, there is an upcoming election in Nigeria where campaign has started, and we are beginning to see candidates sell their ideas. All right, and this is another bold. I can see somebody watching my live. Please kindly click the like button and leave a comment so we can interact. I know most of my followers, for all I know, is my best friend, or you are my best friend. So just leave a comment. Let's talk. Let's talk. I'm currently doing my chores for the morning. Father's doing chores. That's the way life should be. All right. Okay. I have my other bowl. Okay. Do I do this and put that there? Yep. Think I'm good to go. I'm good to go. I'm good to go. I'm good to go. Subscribe to my channel. click the like button, leave a comment. Thank you. Okay, so politics in Nigeria is heating up. We're listening to candidates like Omoyele Sowore, Peter Obi. Well, we've not been seeing Atiku and Tinubu. So we hope that they will come out of their shell soon and begin to talk to Nigerians. All right? But I have a candidate that I am selling. I have a candidate that is my market that I'm selling, and his name is Peter Obi. And in case you are a genuine voter in Nigeria who welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Okay, good. I am back. 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 This is Mama Kids Life, where we discuss children, politics, and life. So if you are a child, you're a teenager, if you're a student, if you're alive, if you like politics, this is where you should be. So I'm only doing my chores this morning. I'm selecting a mountain of things. Okay, a mountain of it. Alright, father should also do chores. Alright, I can see somebody watching me. Please subscribe and leave a comment. It's an interactive live. Let's talk. Hey, God have mercy. So I was talking about world politics, see what is happening in the US between America and Iran. And I was saying that the world actually deserves a break. The world actually deserves a break. Actually, peace is cheaper. True peace is cheaper. Chaos is expensive. Because I'm just thinking about the trillions of dollars, I think, that America has spent in executing their part of the war, and Iran as well. So you can see peace is quite cheap, very, very cheap. Not even quite. Peace is very, very cheap, and other countries are also suffering from it. So the world can deal with a break. Yeah, do with a break. We deserve a break. In Africa, well, Africa is always full of a lot of bad news. But you can see some countries are making headway. Countries like Kenya, countries like South Africa, countries like Tanzania, countries like Botswana, those Rwanda, those are countries that are beginning to be in the forefront of development in Africa. Alright, but as a Nigerian, I feel very ashamed. To be very honest with you, very ashamed, because we are the leader that has refused to rise up to lead. Destined leader, ordained leader from heaven to lead Africa to its rightful place in the Committee of Nations. But unfortunately, in a nation of over 200 million people have decided to fool around. That's why Africa is experiencing so much conflict. I've always argued that the day Nigeria rises, the day the giant of Africa rises from the mud, murky mud, that is the day Africa will stand. All right? And Africans should actually be supportive, because it's in their interest if Nigeria rises. It is their interest when their giants their giant leader has been covered up in the mud of corruption, mud of lack of integrity, mud of lack of capacity. It is in their interest. Kenyans, Ugandans, uh, Rwandans, it is in your interest that Nigeria works. And 2027, which is next year, is an opportunity to make that happen. If you're an American, it's even in your interest because a stable Africa is a stable world. A prosperous Africa is a richer world. So everybody benefits from it. And so wherever you are in the four corners of the world, you should be interested in this upcoming election in Nigeria. But I have a candidate to tell you about. His name is Peter Obi. He's the most popular Nigerian on the surface of the earth today. He's a candidate that resonates with the true population of Nigeria. And it's not because of any other thing apart from his sheer display of readiness to work, his sheer display of capacity, his sheer display of sacrifice. This man I'm telling you about is a one-off. An average Nigerian cannot claim to have what he has. He grew up, he spent a lot of his time in the UK. So the values are a bit, I'm not saying Nigerians are not refined, but Nigerian leaders are not refined. So he did not spend a lot of time, in the corridors of the corrupt corridors of power in Nigeria. So his mentality is a bit different. All right, his mentality is a bit different. So when you go to an average Nigerian leader's house, you see so many workers literally licking his feet. You go there, you see opulence, you see exotic cars, they just want to show off, that kind of mentality. And I'm sure if you've been to Nigeria as a foreigner, you'll be able to relate. Say, why are they so much into showing off? You are not as rich as Bill Gates, but your house is like 50 times, better or finer than his own. I'm not saying your house shouldn't be okay, but here our leaders are carried away by those things. Instead of sweating it out to make life better for the people, they are cooling it out in their opulence and literally doing nothing to better the lives of the people. This man I'm telling you about, Peter Obi, is an exception to that rule. The fact that I'm even calling him Mr. Peter Obi alone is one sign to show that. In Nigeria, politicians give themselves title. You will hear chief, doctor, pastor, MSN, MSS, just empty. People think like that are empty, right? Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And that is why Nigeria is in the mud. But Peter Obi says, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's not about title. Just call me Mr. Peter Obi. This is someone who has been to Oxford, who has been to Cambridge. This Nigerian candidate I'm telling you about, he has studied in almost all the top Kellogg schools. He has studied in almost all the top schools in the world. In fact, it was one of his lecturers in Oxford, I believe, that gave him that challenge to go back to Africa and fix it. Because while in class, he was displaying a lot of brilliance, and the lecturer was like, "What? You shouldn't be in business. Yes, you made it. He's a successful businessman, one of the richest men in Nigeria today, one of the richest, and yet very humble, very composed, very sensitive to the plight of the people. Because you cannot want to live with poor people and display opulence. It is insensitive, it is stupid. Doesn't make sense. So he is very conscious of it. Now, again, I'm telling you why Peter Obi stands out and why he's different. What a lie. I'm having fun. I'm doing my chores. I'm educating people. I'm sharing my thoughts. And people are commenting. Thank you for the comments. Thank you so much. Now, in case you're just joining, please click the like button. Leave a comment. Let's talk. It's an interactive live. It's an interactive live. everybody waking up. Anyways, so another thing that stands out is defiling the rule of the game. In Nigeria, we don't play politics. For me, it is insulting to call our leaders politicians. What they do, what, good, it's not from now. What they do is witchcraft and wizardry. That's exactly what they do. This is not politics. The people are not in the equation. So in Nigeria, you have people playing wizardry and witchcraft. So but his own is different. He's defining the rule in the sense that he is meeting the people directly. An average politician, because he's a lazy man, wants to meet powerful people in communities and buy them off. See why I call it wizardry and witchery? That's what they are doing. The witchcraft. It is not politics that they are playing. So an average Nigerian politician, since he does not want to be under the sun and sweat it out, meeting people and talking to them directly, he goes to the most powerful person in sound that makes you sleepy. ADQ makes you sleepy. Add a Q and a question and answer. Okay, let me add that. How do I do that? Okay, when it comes up again, I'll do it. Q&A. Okay, when it comes up again, I'm going to do it. I'm going to ask, what question am I going to ask in the Q&A? I'm going to ask, do you love Nigeria? Do you know Nigeria? Yes, that will be the question I'll put out there. Anyways, so I was saying, a typical Nigerian politician will go to a place, let's say Area A. Instead of going to Area A and talking directly to the over 200,000 people in that Area A and asking for their needs, knowing that would be more hard work, he looks for the most dangerous person, the most feared person in that Area A, just one person that can put fear and force people to vote in a particular way. He gives that person money and he goes back home and he will say he is playing politics. On election day, that person will mobilize, threaten people, and ensure that if you don't vote for him, the politician, something bad will happen to you. That's how they play politics in Nigeria. That's how they play wizardry and witchcraft in Nigeria. But Peter Obi says, no, I'm not going to do that. I am not a lazy person. I am not looking for a job where you can lazy it out. It's a job where you will lead over 200 million people. It's a job where the number of followers are more than 90% of the nation, 95% of the nations of the world. So the work rate, the workload is bigger than most leaders in the world will ever see in their lifetime. You can't lazy it out. So he goes to talk directly to the people. And that is why the conventional politicians in Nigeria find it difficult to be able to curb him. Because what they now fight for is who is able to buy the dangerous guy in the territory. That's how they win elections. So a wicked politician A will come to the territory, buy the most dangerous person, give that person a lot of money. You're talking about maybe $10 million. Just give that person and say, okay, mobilize people and ensure that I win the votes here. The next person comes, then the other wicked politician comes and talk to the person. The person says, no, well, if you need my support, you have to up the game, up the money. You give him $20 million. That's how they've been doing it. That's how they've been doing it. And when they win, sir, when they win, man, when they win, little lady and some boy, when they win, they do not care about the people. Right? They just come and meet that dangerous person and say, okay, since you've helped me to win, can you give me somebody? Let me just make you feel good. Let me give you a post. Then that person becomes a minister. And so the people never surface, never participate in their equation, in their discussion. When they were looking for the votes, they didn't go to the people. When they are in office, they will certainly not consider the people. But Mr. Peter Obi says, I'm not going to do that. That money I'm going to give that dangerous person, I will even spend less moving around. The only thing I will do is that I will sweat more. And to be very honest, this kind of work is the kind of work you do that affects your day of death. Yes, it's massive. And so he's doing it. And so if you look at the Peter Obi today, you see someone who is stressed out. And I tell Nigerians, the person who will transform Nigeria, who will make the giant of Africa rise again and make Africa stand, will not be somebody who is looking dandy and cool. No. It will not be that person. It will be that person who looks rugged. It can never be somebody who wears agbada. Like, it's not possible. Agbada is a unique attire. Because I'm an advocate of having your identity. I'm big on that. Advocate of having your identity. This is Mama Kit's channel. In case you're joining or you're watching, do well to push the like button and leave a comment, as it's an interactive live session. Okay? All right. This channel will discuss raising children, we discuss politics, and we discuss life. And we're currently talking about politics in Africa, in Nigeria in particular. Now, I was saying that the person who will change Nigeria will not be wearing agbada. If I were you, that will be one of the yardstick. Anybody who wears agbada is an indigenous dressing of Nigerians. All right, I'm big on identity, and I have nothing against agbada. But agbada is something you wear, to show calmness, to show cleanliness, to show composure, not to show sweating. Nobody wears agbada to the farm. Nobody wears agbada to the gym. You cannot wear agbada to become the president of Nigeria, because it shows that you won't be able to get your hands dirty. So one thing I would advise you to look out for: anybody who wears agbada cannot transform Nigeria. It's a theory that if you think about it, you will see that it makes sense. Anybody who wears agbada will lack the energy capacity and the ability to get his hands dirty capacity to transform, to change Nigeria. Okay? And Peter Obi is ready to be on the move. He is rehearsing the level of work he has to do. The last debate he was there, the people that wear agbadas were not there. That even buttresses my point. The people that wear agbadas were not there because the agbada is a weight on them. They have to look cool and dandy. They have to talk calmly. People are being killed. You can't be talking calmly. You have to be on the move. You have to look stained as what the work is. All right? So that's another reason why Peter Obi stands out, and Peter Obi should be the candidate to be voted for. Another reason is that he's a man of integrity, tested and trusted. A man of integrity that has been tested and trusted. Okay? Peter Obi is a successful businessman. He is not somebody that will tell you that the only thing he has done is politics for 42 years, like some people were funnily saying. They lack the capacity to do business, and they went to do politics of wizardry and witchcraft. Understand what I mean? So, successful businessman build businesses from scratch to a multinational. So those are people who have capacity to create wealth. Those are the people who have the capacity to create wealth. When we talk about creating wealth, there is no creating wealth without sweating it out. Just like there is no making money without sweating it out. Nigerian leaders are the only workers that want to be cool and dandy, and yet they claim to be working. You can't be cool and dandy and want to make money and create wealth. You can be cool and dandy and be borrowing money. That's exactly what you're doing. A wealth creator will be a hands-on person, a hands-on. He will be in the farm. He will visit the victims of terrorist attacks. And who amongst the candidates have done that before? Him only. I mean him only. Him only. So he's the only person who has a track record of creating wealth. Among the candidates, there's one of the candidates, I won't have to mention name, but if you are aware, you will know who I'm talking about. There's one of the candidates that even broke the law with starting his own business. Because the law says as a civil servant, the only business you can do is to own a farm. He was doing something else. They are no wealth creators. The only wealth creator amongst them is a Peter Obi. That money that Nigeria is borrowing today, people created it. Why can't you create it? You know why? Creating wealth is work. It's hard work. It's meeting the people. It's inspiring the people. It's getting your hands dirty. It's sweating it out. It's being a president, yes, you're working hard than a nanny. Is you not looking presidential always and cool and easy, and they are not willing to do it. And they are not willing to do that. And so he's the only wealth creator in their midst. And that is why we will say you should vote for a Peter Obi. And do not think that he will not be able to win. It is a lie that they are telling you. If you're a Nigerian, and even if you're not a Nigerian, please propagate this message. Let the Germans hear it. Let the Japanese hear it. Let the Taiwanese hear it. Let the Chinese hear it. Because we need all of you to be able to wake these sleeping giants. Alright? So I've given you 3 reasons why Peter Obi is the person to vote for. Number 1 is a wealth creator. A wealth creator will not be borrowing Nigeria, a country to stupid. It would actually generate the dollars and be borrowing others. Nigeria used to borrow. In the 70s, we borrowed the World Bank. Today, we are the ones borrowing from World Bank left, right, and center. And when you ask them what they use the money for, they cannot tell you. All right. So, he's a wealth creator. He's the only person not wearing agbada. Well, not the only person, but he's one of those that are not wearing agbada, showing that he's ready to get to work. Nobody wears agbada to work. Nobody wears agbada to work. Like nobody does. Have you ever seen a banker wear agbada to work? A farmer wear agbada to work? Why are Nigerian leaders wearing agbada to work? All right. So he will not wear agbada to work. He is the only person who can generate wealth. And lastly, he's the only person who has integrity that has been tested and trusted. I can see somebody watching my live. Please click the like button, leave a comment, as it's an interactive live. This is Mama Kids, where we discuss raising children, politics, and life in general. Alright? I'm still doing my chores, almost done. I'll say I'm 70% done. Music time. We're going to do music for 5 minutes, then, or even 10 minutes. Then we'll do quiet time for 5 minutes. I have class by 9:30. I need to finish this on time. So we're going to have a music break. What song would you like me to sing? What song would you like me to sing? Retouch, great highlight, sticker, effect, mute. What song would you like me to sing? Do you want Don Jazzy? Well, I know a few. Let me just focus more here. I'll sing the first song that comes to my mind. P-Square. Thinking about P-Square, the first thing that comes to my mind is the controversy and not their song, which is actually a very bad thing. Because it's a big deal. That's big deal, so big that on a single street you will hear 10 different speakers playing their songs on a single street. P-Square is undoubtedly the biggest brand. Well, then Sonny Ade and all those people, Majek Pasek, they were not small, but at least the one I experienced, I would say they are one of the biggest brands. Let me say one or two. Let me see if I can still remember one or I still remember. But I need to think of the one I can sing very well, so that people don't laugh at me in public. Before I met you, there was no possibility for me to be rescued. Thank God I found you. Cannot live without you. I've seen many go different places. I've seen many places. I cannot replace you. 'Cause you are my la, girl. You are my life. You're the finest. You be the finest I ever see. You're the brightest. The way you they sing is a bring like me. You're the highest. When it comes to rating, you're the lead. Maybe there's my own and only. This is just to let you know that no one be like you. Said I go different places, I've seen many faces. Cannot replace this, cause you are my blessings. Driving me crazy, cause you are my baby. Be like you. No one like you. That's why we say, oh yeah, no one like you. No one. You're the finest. You be the finest I'd ever see. Wiggy the shaky they bring like me. They come to race you're the lead. And this is my one and only. This is just to let you know that no one be like you. Go different places and see many faces. Be like you. Cannot replace you cause you are my baby. Be like you. You drive me crazy cause you are my baby. Be like you. No, I want to always be complaining that I find it difficult to sing a song the way it was sound. I find it boring singing it the way it was sound. I just have to sing my caveat. Not very good at what I do. I might just sing it in a way that it becomes fun to me. The way the spirit leads, I just have to sing it like that, you know. So just manage me like that. Two-Face Idibia. Two-Face is also facing controversies, you know, and just unfortunate that these legends of ours are facing issues. So they really added color to our childhood and our teenagehood, and they mean so much to us. Yes, they mean so much to us. You are my African. You can't miss that one. Girl of my dream. You take me where I never been. You make my heart sing ring. You know that song, African Queen, gave birth. Gave birth. You know, okay. Music was at its peak in the 60s and in the 70s. You had the King Sunny Ades of this world, the Oliver the Coke. I mean, you had Bright Chimezie, you know, maybe not in the 70s, but you really had good musicians, and they could actually sing songs like people like Onyeka Onwenu, maybe not in the 70s, maybe early 90s, late 80s. We had good musicians, like they would actually play good music. Anywhere in the world, it would be appreciated. The Fellas of the world, right? But somewhere in the late 90s, the quality dropped. So we began to hear songs that are just noisy. That was when music became where hip hop came into the mix. Before it was high life, juju, the Sonny Ades and the Oliver the Popes of the world, you know. Then in the late 90s, mid 90s, your kind of hip hop entered the mix. You know, before then we were having things like time and money, yo, time and money, time and money, yo. Songs that were able to make children behave better in some societies. But the late 90s, you started hearing songs that could actually corrupt children started coming into it. The sounds were just whack, you know. So it continued like that until African Queen. African Queen reminded us that music can be more than noise. And that's why that song is so nostalgic, because it reminded us we needed that reminder. It came at the right time. So that song gave birth to good music again. And that's why, like, Nigerians loved it. They loved it. They loved it. And I remember I was in maybe year 8 then. I remember bringing out my book and I was actually down the words. Every time because they were playing the songs regularly, especially on AIT. I brought out my book and I was trying to write the words until I wrote everything. I may not be able to remember everything, but I can sing it quite well. So let me sing. You are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. You take me where I've never been. You make me laugh, sing. You are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. You take me where I've never been. And that is the African beauty. Just like the sun light of the earth. You're the light of my life. Mm. The only one that ever see will shine so bright. Just yesterday, you came around my way. You took my whole sin away with astonishing beauty. Hey, you could have make your brother sing. Ordinary things supernatural things. And you're brighter than I see that. That's the way you just get on. Yes, sir. You were my African queen. Yeah, my dream. You take me where I've never been.
Please,
You make my heart bigger again. Oh my god. I'm almost done selecting my mountain of things. Yeah.
I'm going to invite you to my live stream.
So that we do it together.
Eh? You
So-
use your phone and go live, then I'll send an invite, then two of us will be on the screen.
That would be nice.
And you can, this thing can increase your this.
Let's do it now.
No, big.
Anyway.
We're going to cook.
Okay. Okay, I'm done with this now. I will just soak it. Wow. Plenty of how many cells can you have?
500.
Right. A lot to do today. I have so much to do actually. So most importantly, I need rest. Once I'm done with my work, I will rest. Glorious in holiness. Yes, doing wonders, hallelujah. What is it? Ẹ ṣeun o, ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀. Ẹ ṣeun o, yes. Ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀. Ẹ ṣeun o. Somebody is on my live. Please click the like button and leave a comment. Thank you so much. Welcome to Mama Kids. This is where we talk about raising children. This is where we talk about politics. And this is where we talk about life. Oh, Mina Air, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for leaving a comment. Oh, thank you so much for liking. Thank you. Where are you from? Are you from Nigeria? Currently doing chores. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I'm grateful. Grateful. Oh, you're from Lagos, Nigeria. That's fantastic. I'm also in Lagos actually. I go live at least twice a day. Whenever you see my notification, please try to join. Discuss very relevant issue concerning raising children, politics, and life. Okay? So if you are a child, if you are a mother, if you are a father, if you are alive, this is where to be. One for the master, one for the devil. One for the little girl who lives down the lane. Black sheep, have you any? Yes, sir, three black sheep. One for the master, one for the devil. One for the little girl who lives down the lane. You are worthy, Savior, not worthy. The Lord, not worthy to be praised. 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 Chukwu, Ilekuyo, Mama Ewo, Ilekuyo. What's the next? If we go and get it, if we go and get it, if we go and get it, if we go and get it. Every Jesus, Kelebule, Kelebule yao, 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 yo, Kelebule yao. Baby, is your kitchen on? Please on your kitchen. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya, oh Lord. Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya, Kumbaya, Lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, just I want you to Father. I make our Father. Yesterday. Now need to be please. You want to show, you know to put things.
So you have made the profit there.
I have, but those that usually when I make, even though I use some to make our sauce, when I make almost 4 plates, and this one is
Can you
3.
put that much?
I showed on yesterday. What's the time, please? After 9. Should be after 9. Maybe.
1 minute past.
Okay. I have to quickly wrap this up. Before you
Don't go to the maybe I don't know. And I don't use my waking up egg.
No, you don't find them.
Hey, yeah, I don't know why I'm going to sleep when my dad is not sleeping. Like, if you now come and wake me in the room, the day the rest is sleep, and come and wake me.
Just can take care of us. And forever grateful that you have things. You say you did not order for tripod stand. Now rope, you order for. Have you forgotten?
No, it's pacifier.
Okay.
I didn't order for pacifier, the one that they saw. I thought it's the pacifier that they put there in the picture. I did not know it's the rope. It was when I went carefully read it, and I found that it's the rope of the pacifier.
So what do you need of that thing? How much is it? 2,000 naira. Well done.
I thought I went to go and buy. I went and buy rope. I have rope already for pacifier.
Unto the Lord be the glory, everything He has done. Unto the Lord be the glory, great things He has done. But do you know when I'm in class, I can put, say, it's just make imaging no show. I can put my phone.
You don't know the child's voice.
Okay. No. My earpiece I dey use.
Yeah, you can put your phone.
But it will not now be coherent. But at least the teaching part, I will capture it.
Yeah, you can even put it there for kids.
I can put the teaching.
Just that you won't be replying anybody.
I will not be replying anybody.
You
will not be seeing my screen. You will not be seeing my screen. But there must be a way. Because you see, this life, you don't need now. When you make it complicated, it will be complicated. And you will tire if you make it complicated. It will just be that you press your phone and you just sit down and do your thing. I put it and I'm talking about, okay, maybe we will sit down and watch that. Everybody has their nature actually, but you sit down and watch when what you are illustrating is not showing. At best, you just make shots out of it. At best, you make shots out of it. At best, you make shots out of it. What you will do. Using that. And I was thinking there's a reason why people go live in the night. If you want the audience to be falling out, you can by this time they are sleeping.
No.
Doesn't matter. Hello guys, so I'm finally done collecting the mountain of this. It took me exactly 1 hour 39 minutes. Hmm, exactly what we're talking about. Let me show you what the work looks like. See, this is the shaft. That, that, and that. All right. Bye. I'll see you later in the day. Don't forget, this is Mama Kids, where we talk about raising children, talk about politics, talk about life. And so, if you're a child, if you're a teenager, if you're a father, if you're a mother, if you're a grandma, if you're a grandpa, if you like politics, and if you are alive, this is where you should be. Bye. See you later. Ooh.